What happened while we were away brought to you by the sights and sounds of hurting your enemies. Since Donald Trump took over a couple of weeks ago, there have probably been no fewer than a dozen executive orders that, at any point in the last decade, I think would have triggered outbursts from various Democrat factions, both in D.C. and around the rest of the country. But so far, that really hasn't materialized until yesterday. That is, after Elon Musk and Doge announced they're planning on shuttering the United States Agency for International Development. Boy, howdy. By the Democrats' reaction, you'd think the Trump administration had issued death warrants for their grandmas. Here's squad member Ilhan Omar.
It is really a sad day in America. We are witnessing a constitutional crisis.
Congressman Jamie Raskin.
Elon Musk, you didn't create USAID. The United States Congress did for the American people.
Over in the Senate, Chuck Schumer.
If Doge attacks USAID today, then you can be sure they'll move on to another target tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the Postal Service or the IRS or even the Social Security Administration. They could be next. Or maybe our national security agencies.
So what does USAID do that has all these Democrats worked up in a lather? Here's White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
$1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap. And I know
apparently the USAID is to the rest of the Democrat Party what Ukraine was to the Biden family. Moving on, Donald Trump had a call with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Castro yesterday. Here's how that went.
Listen, mister, I'm getting awful tired of your...
I'm getting tired of your gas. Now jerk that pistol and go to work. You gonna do something or just stand there and bleed?
Canada is indeed capitulating to the Trump threat of tariffs, just like Mexico did, agreeing to deploy 10,000 troops along their southern border, implementing new technologies to secure their border, and appointing a fentanyl czar to ensure that dangerous narcotic doesn't get through their border into the United States. In Los Angeles, protesters waving the flag of Mexico, ostensibly the country they illegally immigrated from, burned flags of the United States, the country they ostensibly want to remain in, all while blocking traffic on busy freeways, because if that's not one of the most sound, logical, and not at all emotionally chaotic arguments in favor of unfettered open borders, I'm not sure what is. In Dallas, give us your poor, your tired, your huddled masses yearning to hurl death threats and slurs at Blaze TV's Sarah Gonzalez, who showed up at one of these illegal immigration marches over the weekend.
Someone just run her over. Let's go.
I'm sorry, what?
No, hey.
No, say to run her over.
Hey.
Run me over.
A lovely people, one and all. El Salvador President Nayib Bukele says after his meeting with Secretary of State Marco Rubio, his country will take convicted felons off the United States' hands for a small fee and house them in El Salvador's now famously effective maximum security prison system. This comes after an executive order last week from the Trump administration opening up a 30,000-bed detainment facility for violent illegal aliens at Guantanamo Bay. Couple of odds and ends. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth visited the southern border yesterday.
To the cartels, all options are on the table.
According to Axios, about 20,000 federal workers have taken Trump's buyout offer thus far. RFK Jr.'s confirmation made it out of committee this morning, 14-13. Squishy GOP Senator Susan Collins says she's a yes on Tulsi Gabbard for DNI. And finally, this aired on the Canadian Broadcasting Company not that long ago. It's some pretty interesting foreshadowing.
Mr. President, I must admit I was worried that you were going to try to humiliate me.
I would never embarrass you, Justin. Are you kidding me?
Thank you, Donald.
Now I want to see you eat it.
Excuse me? The hamburger.
The Big Mac, the president of all burgers. I'm going to make you eat it like a dog with no hands.
Mr. President, I have self-respect.
Not so much, to be honest. I mean, he came like a dog, didn't he? He really did.
Mon ami, I come to you not on bended knee, but as an equal.
30% tariff.
My father taught me to
50% tariff.
We Canadians are a hearty lot.
60% tariff.
For Canada! I'm a hungry little puppy. I'm so hungry for my puppy chow.
All right, that's enough, Justin. I won't impose a tariff.
And that's what happened while we were away.